Right. Hello. I'm gonna wait for this chat to get a lot bigger because there's currently only two people in chat. So we're gonna let it we're gonna let it just get a little bit bigger. There we go. Now I'm on screen. We're gonna let it build up a little bit and then we'll get into it. All right, well, I'm here, I'm here. I just didn't want to sit here rambling on to two people, you know. I wanted to let it build up a little bit more, but we'll start. We've got 5 people now, so we'll I guess we'll start. And well, we'll start slowly. We'll talk. I won't go over the list yet. We'll just have a. Actually, I'll go over what I got up to on the weekend. Um, we go over my 3 games with the Plague Legion. I didn't do too well. Unfortunately, I'm not Mr. Kevin Leonard. I can't just run something with minimal practice and smash it. Not always. Sometimes, but not always. Um, old Mr. Lispy. I didn't hear no lisp. If it makes you feel better, you sounded normal to me. Sounded like you normally do. It was a good listen though. So if anyone hasn't watched that yet, check out the Art of War Down Under podcast, which is on the Art of War channel, where um, Clement Leonard, Mister Number One Demon Player in the World, went spoke to Adam Camilleri and went over the Grotmist attachments. It was a really good listen, just going over all the bits and pieces, and then him giving his opinion on them. Um, and yeah, and obviously, if anyone knows demons, Kevin is definitely one of those people. So it was really good to listen to it from his point of view and what he thinks of it. And I agree mostly with what he said. Now, I think he was a little bit too. Say he's a little bit too down on Plague Legion. Um, you lack of practice, right? I think that's why. But I think a bit more practice with it. I think he'll be a lot higher on it. I love the Plague Legion. It's really, really fun. It's really, really fun. Exactly. Literally your first 3 games. My first 3 games were Plague Legion. You smashed it and went 3-0, and I went 1-2. I'm lucky though. I'm unlucky, to be honest. Um, but a lot of fun. I really like Plague Legion. It fits very much into my playstyle. So, still only got 4 people in chat. We did so much better on the first live stream. Ah, screw it. We'll go over it. I guess people will just end up joining or watching it after the fact. But going over my list from the weekend, I don't think I get my list up? I did get my list up. Ooh, okay. I didn't think I'd got it up on the BCP. So of course, Plague Legion. I've been wanting to play the Plague Legion now for a while. Got a bit of excess out the way with. I don't think I'm going to stick with it, or I'm going to go back to play at excess for a little bit just to get some, because I've got 2 big super majors. One at literally like the end of March, and one at the right beginning of April. So I want to try and get as many points from that as I can for the UKTC. So I want to run. He's going to be probably best to help me do that, and it's probably going to be excess or incursion. But I do want to get more play with the Plague Legion. Yeah, I don't know. It's better than Blood Legion, though, in my opinion. Um, I think I think Plague Legion is much better than Blood Legion. Scintillating is weird. I don't know. I do like it, but I don't know. I feel like Plague Legion just has a little bit more to it. That's just my opinion. Um, Saying that, someone's won a 200-man super major with scintillating. No one's done that with Plague Legion yet, so maybe I'm just smoking the opium. And I'm a Zinch guy, right? And I would rather than I'm talking about the Nurgle one being better. I just like it. It's very much my type of play style. I just really like it. Um, yes, they are very good for tight games. I was finding that even though I got unlucky in the 2 losses, I was pulling out or stopping primary points that was really keeping the game closer. To be honest, again, I keep harping on it. I did get unlucky. So we'll talk about it. So on my list, I ran the Demon Prince with the Font of Spores, Wing Demon Prince. That was at the recommendation of Mr. Kevin. Um, like I like him. I wasn't originally going to run him. He was like, when we were talking about lists on Facebook, he was like, run him, try him. And I'm glad I did, because he's really good, really, really good. Because obviously that +1 AP aura is solid. Since it affects shooting and combat, so it makes your Great Unclean Ones -3 with shooting and -3 in combat. Makes Rodigus -4 in combat. And then him himself becomes -3. Plague Bearer's -2. It's really solid. Not to mention, 6 attacks. He can get sustained 1. You can pop critical hits on 5s on him. Just he's just a really solid like bit of beefy damage, and in those matchups, those combat matchups, it will keep your opponents honest a bit. and you have something that can kind of help you. Like if your opponent puts a real horrible hard combat unit into you, you have something to help you kind of get through it easier, and actually apply some damage to it. And the wing prince is pretty good with that. Um, I can have a look. Am I really that quiet? Um, I don't know. Is it really quiet, or is it not too bad? Let's move the mic. Let's speak more into the mic. I don't think I have another way to turn it up, to be honest. I might. It's already up as far as I can put it. Trying to look at. Is there another way? Hmm. Let me know if that's any better. Okay. Cool. Okay. I'd say it's normal. It's how it normally is. Um, I'll have the mic in front of my face, so it shouldn't be too bad. Um, just let me know if it does get quiet. I don't know if it would because I've got it on. Everything is as it normally is, so should be good. I'm speaking a little bit louder. Maybe I'm speaking a little bit quieter. But I'm got. I don't know if you can tell, but I've got a little bit of a cold at the moment. I've been smoked with it, and it's in my nose and it's in my sinuses. And the more I talk, the more I can feel my nose kind of wanting to just. I guess it's because we're talking about Nurgle, right? So maybe I'm speaking a little bit more quiet. No, 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 no. My volume is where it is. It never changes. I'm very much a creature. I don't once I have a setting, I don't change anything. So anyway, if it gets quiet, let me know. I'll try and speak a little bit louder. And I will speak into the mic. Um, so we have the Great Glim, the Ruining Cloud because he's just really solid. For Bellator, right? Just keeping him back, using him to protect your stuff. If you can like push out and hold people back, and then you just kind of string back onto him onto primary. It just makes your primary basically untouchable for a turn against shooty armies and against other armies as well. But it's just really solid. Oh, cool. I was gonna say it should be okay, but we'll see. Um, yeah, and then we got two punch stringers. I tell you what, these guys were absolutely amazing. That additional -1 was really solid into the Marines and into the Death Guard. Um, and also the it's pretty good when you combine that with Riscus. So I had him, I had his unit, like plus a unit plus a normal unit going in, and I popped crit hits on fives when I was into a class night, and then Rotigus's damage buff. Um, so I had two units doing crit hit lethals on fives with damage two. It was really solid, and we pulled out a night really easy with it. Um, and by night I mean a war dog, not a big night. Um, and then we have Rotigus because I think Rotigus is just auto take for Plague Legion. He's just really solid. Half OC, half move aura is really good. It definitely helps in the Chaos Knight matchup and the Death Guard matchup. Actually, saying that. And +1 damage is again is all about picking a spot on the board and just max damaging. That's kind of how this works for Nurgle. So you kind of need Rogus to do that. And then we've got obviously the auto take Bile Piper with the Crank Blind. This guy was absolutely insane. Insane. Yeah, insane. I think overall his tally at the end of the day was it three Blade Guards, two Inceptors, two Scouts, and five Deathshot Terminators. It was absolutely nuts. Of course, in the Chaos 9 matchup, he couldn't do anything because his aura, like his take Dark Shock and start the fight phase aura, doesn't affect monsters and vehicles. And of course, Counterblight doesn't affect monsters and vehicles. So he was basically just giving one of my units like an extra bit of movement to get the Knights and Primary. And that was pretty much it. But for the other two games, really, really solid. Um, we wanted to do. I still wanted to do a little bit of Nurgling jail, so I had two units of six Nurglings and a unit of three Nurglings. They were quite handy to just block. and also just had my 9-inch auras in the middle of the board early on, which is pretty good. And then we had one, two, three, four, five, 6 units of play barriers because I really wanted to run as many play barriers as I possibly could. Um, and it was really fun. I think going forward, I would definitely drop a unit and probably go down to 50, but it was fun running that many play barriers again. I was one of the people that used to run 120 of the things. They were amazing. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that was one of the issues I found was I had sometimes maybe not enough CP, and Epidemius was an idea. For one unit play berries is solid, and in this list, and we're going to be killing a lot of models with with Nurgle, obviously. So, yeah, I think Epidemius was in my head after when I was driving home. I was thinking, how can I improve on this list? Epidemius was definitely one of the options. And then we had one beast just to drop down and do actions, and two units of balloons just to give me multiple sources of reroll wounds. And some speed, but I don't know. I feel like I will probably drop one of these. So yeah, we're beating to Ultramarines, and we beat them fairly handily. I booked them in. I think we were playing on uh not Dawn of War, but the other version, the Tetris Dawn of War. Um, Sweeping Engagement. That's it. And I kind of just blocked him in on UKTC terrain with Naglins, moved forward, did some terraforming, and then just kept pushing him back. And we just kept hitting him with battle shots, and he was just failing them. His poor Blade Guard unit took 4 battle shocks and failed all 4 of them. Gulliman failed a battle shock. Um, excuse me. Yeah, so we were just hitting them with battle shocks. The Demon Prince went into a unit of 6 aggressors with the Putrefier, and not the Putrefier, that's Death Guard, with the biologist, the dude, the apothecary dude that gives them, is it lethal hits or whatever? Um, and he one-shotted them because popped his once per game 3 attacks, gave him sustained hits, used a crit 5, had reroll wounds on him, and then he just went nuts. I don't think he missed any of the attacks, and he got like 4 sustained, and then I think with all the rerolls, he ended up wounding every single time. Maybe missed one, and he was -3, so they're on 6 up saves, and he just carved through them. And because he's 3 damage, they're 3 wounds, so just every failed save is dead. So yeah, he picked them up in one go, which was beautiful. Um, Rotigus, what did Rotigus do? Rotigus did all right. Rotigus did pretty good. He actually started I rapid ingress him down and then just surged him forward, and he went and picked up some little units. The Demon Prince, after killing the um the aggressors, went and picked up both lancers that he had as well, so that was quite funny. And then the Black Springer with his unit went toe to toe with Gulliman, and yeah, done a little bit of work there. Um, Kind of just bogging him down in the middle. So the Chaos Knight matchup was interesting. I was because he's leadership 7, so he's going to be at least 8, if not 9. And I think I was a little bit too aggressive too early. I think that was probably my issue, but um. Rotigus did very well in the middle against him. It was really annoying because I'd managed to battle shock one of his knights in the middle with the +1 to hit battle shock aura, stratagem, and then I battle shot another knight on the other side. So I was like, cool, as long as Rotigus passes his battle shock test, I'm fine. I only had 1 CP and I wanted to use it on Merc Shadows. Found my battle shock test, cost me some primary. And then also, I think I can't remember. Oh, I had Area Denial, which then made it a little bit difficult to get it because yeah. And then right in the last of the game, my opponent drew perfect with his cards. He had recover and he had 4 knights left and 3 of them just went into corners. And one of the ground clean one who was in the middle, I could have gotten through a wall to move and then through a wall to charge, and then I probably would have got this 5 wound carnivore. And then the ground clean one failed head battle shot test, and I was like, oh, this is really annoying. So yeah, I did get unlucky. I think I lost by 8 points. And then the Death Guard, I think again I was a bit too aggressive, but by pushing the Pot Springer in the Bowl Piper in the middle, and then just hitting battle shocks on the Death Shroud, I was able to kill a lot of Death Shroud. Rotigus was a beast. The Grand King on 6 up for an opponent, nuts. Like everyone was making their 6 up for their pains. And we were kind of bogging down Morty with play bearers on the fire objective. But I think I just got, you know, he just beat me up too much, and I couldn't beat him up enough, to be honest. And we just ended up losing the game on attrition in the end. But I think again I was a bit too aggressive. So, um, ooh, more people. Hello, Bio Big Daddy. Um, so yeah, I mean, biologist. Thank you, Kevin. You're all right. It's the biologist dude. But yeah, so we lost two of the games. I got, like I said, I'm going to keep saying it. I got a little bit unlucky, but I think an experience caught me out with it. I think with more practice, I can definitely get something cool. It was my first list, and I just wanted to like all Nurgle stuff, but I definitely am going to play about with this. I'll probably drop some plague bearers, drop some plague drones. Um, I probably want to get some skull cannons in just to get a few more battle shocks in, but I'm not 100% certain yet. Academius is an option as well. I'll probably with the Nurglings, I might even split one of the six mans into two free men. Um, I might even just not even take six mans and you know drop three of them and split one six into two threes. Um, and then just kind of dot them all over the place. But I haven't decided yet. I need to get a bit more practice in with it. So yeah, Skull Cannon's pretty decent. In Plague Legion because you can get the minuses everywhere. So actually the battle shocks now start to mean something. Um, and then in addition to that, you can really put the heart on with Counterblight. And I knew Counterblight was decent. My first opinion of Counterblight wasn't too high. Then I looked more into it and thought, okay, it's quite decent. But having actually played with it, man, is it insanely good for 70 points on a ball piper? It's nuts. It's insanely good. Um, so yeah, I mean, I've got an RTT this Saturday. List submission is Thursday. So I haven't decided if I'm going to stick with Plague or go back to Excess or jump back into Inclusion again. Um, may I did look at scintillating, but like I said, I'm practicing for two super majors at the end of March and the beginning of April, and so I kind of just want to keep getting practice and reps in with the list. And I don't know if I've got enough time and practicing with scintillating it to kind of to hit it. Whereas Plague Legion, because it is just naturally my type of play style, I feel like I could fit into it a bit more. But I might just fall back into excess because I feel like after the ITT, I feel a little bit unfulfilled with it after having a bit of a poor run. Um, so I definitely want to play around with that list and do something with that. But I also really want to play excess again because of the 6-inch drop and all this kind of stuff. So I have yeah, I have too many lists in my head at the moment, but we will have a look. So enough about me. Let's talk about some of these other guys that done pretty well. Um, Thursday. It is what are we on today? We're on Tuesday. Thursday is Blood Legion Deep Dive. So it was on my obviously we're now doing a weekly, next following week preview where I will upload what's getting uploaded the week before. Um but yes, the Blood Legion deep dive is coming on Thursday. I tried to be as unbiased as I could, but I can't lie. When I talk about that detachment, there's just a part of me that just does not get excited. So I did my best to get through that and sound excited. So hopefully it doesn't come across as too miserable. But yes, I did do it. It's done. It's actually ready to be posted. But obviously I'm going to spread the content out, and so it's coming on Thursday, and then Friday is the Monster Mash list build, which I'm actually going to build the list now, not like last time where I just spoke about lists. I will actually build the list and show you some list builds for that. And then next week, what have we got next week? We'll do the Blood Legion tier list next week. I've also got the Plague Legion tier list that I need to release. I'll probably release both of them next week. And then I think I'm doing a stratagem deep dive on Plague of Woes. I think that's next week as well. So, but I'm just a massive fan of porn anyway. That's just personally me. I don't like the way it plays. I find it to be a bit too boring. I don't really like the detachment. I just find it's too easy to kind of I don't know. I feel like I don't know. They just I don't get that same excitement from Blood Legion than I do the other three. Like Excess is really good, so I guess my competitive juice is flowing. Scintillation Legion is really fun and very fluffy. Plague Legion is just I like it. It's very much me. It's how I like to play the game, and it just kind of ticks boxes for me. Obviously, Incursion is just really, really, really good. And it's just there's something about Blood Legion. Maybe it's just my dislike for Corn, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a massive fan of it. I do think you just get massively um, outplayed once you hit those higher level opponents. Um, and so I don't know. Look, I need to get practicing with it. I will not lie to you. I played no games with it yet. Um, so I do need to get games in with it before I can pass full judgment. But I'm kind of putting it off because I'm not the biggest fan of it. So we will end up playing it. I've read it. I've deep dived into it. I've planned lists for it, but we will get into it. Right. Let's start talking about some other people's lists. So we've got Brent Simon from the Wizards GT. He went 5-0 with a Legion of Excess list. Um, so yeah, I mean that's what it wants to do, right? It wants to get in your opponent's face and it wants to go, "Cool, I'm going to hit you in the face, and then if you come near me, I'm going to grab you and I'm going to hit you in the face again." And that's fair enough. It's corn. Um, it's just not personally me. We're all different. We all like different list styles. I know a lot of people that don't like the Plague Legion, whereas that's really up my alley. Whereas Blood Legion they like, and I'm not a big fan of. But yeah, whatever floats your boat. But of course, as a demon content creator, I need to try and show some level of not being biased, and so I will try and. I'm going to do as much content about Blood Legion as I am anything else, and I will be getting games in with it very, very soon. I just, at the moment, I want to get my two super majors out of the way with, and then I can start just playing around with lists. That's what last weekend was, just to get some practice out with Plague Legion. I wasn't too desperate to do well. But yeah, so Brent Simon, Legion of Excess list. We have Be'lakor. I picked this because he has Be'lakor in it. The Epitome, Keeper with no enhancements, the Mask, Torment Bringer with Majesty, of course. So, I mean, Keepers are great. I think one Keeper, though. Epitome, yes, I think you're going to see them in most excess lists. I've not been running one, but my new excess list does have one in it. The Mask, she's in everyone. I've been harping about the Mask for absolutely ages anyway. I think she's auto take. I love the Mask. The tournament bring on the Seeker Chariot with False Majesty. She's got the 6 draw of Sustained Hits 1, as well as Boss and Wound for non monsters. And then once one of your units within 6 inches of her gets hit in combat, you can give them fight on death on 4 plus, which is very good on 6 Fiends. So yeah, I mean, she's really solid, right? She's very good. And again, she's in my next list as well. Unfortunately, I find with Excess, we are starting to now get that very samey list. Um, Obviously, she's in every list, the Master's in every list, the Epitomes are in every list, and then obviously Keepers. Now it's just becoming like, yeah, it's become very samey, which is kind of why I'm kind of drifting away from Excess a bit, because I don't want to do the samey that everyone else is doing. But I remember it's very good and it's hard not to. Um, so we've got 10 demonettes, 10 playbearers in pretty much every demon list. Unless you're Kevin and you just take them out because you don't need them. But everyone else, including myself, takes playbearers because they're just amazing. I think they're genuinely my favorite demon unit right now. And then we have 18 fiends. 18 fiends. And then a Seeker Chariot and 5 Seekers. Two Seeker Chariots. Wow, two Seeker Chariots. That's interesting. That unit is going to be a pain to move, but also wolves, 1 point infantry units like they're nothing. Also that is 14 wounds. Not a bad unit to use Thieves' Pain on either, to be honest. In the right situation. So, but 18 fiends, I still think that's too many fiends. Um, 2 units of 6 and a unit 3 I do like, because that unit 3 you don't mind giving away to kind of swap out on primary and trade it, but I don't know. I don't know. I think I personally I think the 3 units are just a little bit too much, but they work. They are 3 massive hammers, right? Monopoly keeps it all safe. Only 1 keeper, but fine. Epitome with demonettes. I mean, it's a solid list. He went 5-0 with it, so of course it's going to be a good list. It's very much a high pressure type of selection list, right? It's going to kind of move into the mid game, hit you really hard, and then kind of just say good night. So yeah, it's a solid list. It's an 18 Fiend excess list with, the Mask and Torment Bringer supporting it. And Be'lakor protecting it early game as well, which is really nice. Um, and everyone knows I'm a massive Be'lakor simp. I love Belly, but I just find 325 points outside of Incursion just flights because, at this point, you're paying 325 points for a Don't Shoot Me aura. Um, I mean, Returning Shades is decent shooting and his combat's not bad, but yeah, I don't know. His Shadow Aura doesn't mean much. So, it means a lot less in outside of Incursion. Yeah, I mean, 18 Fiends is a feeling, right? 18 Fiends is a mood, but I don't know. I just find I like to have that one unit of three just as like a trading piece. Personally, again, it comes to personal touches to your list, right? It's always going to come down to personal touches to your list. Um, that's why, you know, we all have different versions of our lists. The way you change your list, the way I change lists. Also, I don't want to run what everyone else is running, and 18 Fiends is becoming incredibly common, but then so is two sixes and a three. So I don't know. But 18 Fiends is definitely something. That is a scary list to stand on the other side of the table of, um, and puts out some real serious damage. Right, we have Russell Tassin, who is one of the Art of War guys. He's been running demons for a while. Um, He was next to me at the World Championships, and I think he had this list, I believe. Um, I think, if not almost the same. It's, I mean, it is slightly different incursion list, but it starts off in a very similar way to most incursion lists now, which is Be'lakor, Endless Gift Grand Gleeman, Shalaxi, and then a monster of your choice. And you normally see like anywhere between Rotigus, Keepers, Lord of Change, Scarbrand, that's generally where you see that fourth spot go to. But Be'lakor, Guru, and Shalaxi is pretty common now. Um, and then we've got two lone ops in the Blue Scribes and the Changeling, which, okay, I like it. We're going back like a year and a bit ago because I loved running these two together. Because they just give you really good little scoring pieces that can pop out your deployment zone and go, cool, I'm going to do a containment or I'm going to do a cleanse. Come near me. If you come near me, I'm going to eat you with something. And yeah, they're really good. The Changeling sits on the backfield, I'm assuming. Maybe it's play bars actually, and the Changeling kind of moves forward. I mean, it's nice. Changing puts on real pressure on shooting armies as well, which is quite cool. 10 demon minutes and 20 play barriers, which is interesting. I like the 20 play barriers. The 10 demon minutes, to be fair, I'm warming up on demon minutes now, especially running 20 of them recently. And then one beast, one unit of drones, which I'm assuming the drones are there to give both the play barriers and Rotigus. I'm going to clean on some support actually, because you could just wall a plague it. You could 6-inch deep strike one of the fat boys, and then move the other one up, 6-inch play bearers away, get like loads of Nurgle stuff charging in. I do like the idea of dropping Rotigus with denizens and then dropping play bearers in his shadows and having drones supporting with reroll wounds, just charging onto an objective and kind of just plaguing it up. So I like that's pretty cool. And then we lost the bottom of it. And then we have a skull cannon to top it off. Um yeah, I mean the skull cannon is going to put out some black Swiss, I'm assuming, and some shooting support. Um, I like this list. I do like this list. Um, I feel like it's missing. I'm gonna say it's missing Fiends. I just think Fiends are so good. Even in Incursion, they're still fantastic. Three is a three. Me and Byron have been running three is a three now for a long time, and a lot of people are now as well. Because it's just solid, right? So no Fiends is really interesting. Having Beast, drones and a Skull Cannon as your extra stuff is really it's different, but it's cool. And he went 5-0. I think he won this event saying that. I'm not 100% certain. But he's obviously a very good player, very good demon player as well. Art of War player, one of the Art of War coaches, so it says it all. But yeah, it's a really solid list. I've been looking for my player list to bring Rotigus back in over the keeper. I'm kind of doing a similar thing with multiple units of play bearers. So solid. I do like it. I think it's a very cool list. Um, Do do. Ah, Lee, yes, it'll be really cool. It'll be. I doubt it'll be on this. I won't be on the same list, but yes, I remember that was a fun game. It was a really interesting game. Um, but yeah, so I'm really excited. I love Ragnarok events. They're some of my favorite events, mainly because they're only 15 minutes down the road, so I don't have to travel far for them. But also, I love the environment that's there, and it's always fun. I can always be loud, and everyone just accepts it. It's just me being loud rather than getting dirty looks in a big sports hall that I normally get at them super majors. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm really looking forward to being at another Ragnarok event because again, I love them. And he's just moved to GW terrain now from his own terrain set because I hated his own terrain set. So the fact that he's playing on GW terrain now is pretty cool. Right, I think if I'm not mistaken, we are moving on to two lists that are lists of two of my mates. Um, one of which is sitting in chat, so I might leave his till last, um, just to make him wait. Um, and then now he's gonna leave. Kevin, you're about to miss your list. Okay, fine. Watch it back. All right, then we'll start with Mr. Kevin. So, Mr. Kevin Leonard, the best team player in the world right now, who was in chat, but he is leaving. Boo. So he's been running Scintillating Legion. Um, with a great name being It's Really Time Bird Brains. I like his list. It's a modified version from his own words as well, modified version of Marasoli's list, which won the Adelaide Uprising, which is like a 200-man super major in Australia. So he went 3-0 at I want to say it was like a 20-man RTT. Um, so he's got the Demon Prince with the Neverblade, because that guy is just real solid combat. I generally like one of the better single model combat units in the game. Um, he's got Pyros to give him shooting from out line of sight, and from Cleven's own mouth, he wants to basically castle up around Fate Weaver, so he's basically keeping his CP as much as he can, because obviously when you use a stratagem on a Zinch unit within 6 inches of Fate Weaver, you gain a CP back on if you beat the dice, if you beat the number of the roll on a dice roll. So if you do it turn one on a 2+, you gain a CP. On round two on 3+, you get a CP, etc., etc. Also gives you some line of sight shooting, which is I guess the key to this, because then you got the Lord of Change with the Infernal Puppeteer, which gives you like pseudo indirect but better, because you pick a unit of a Zinch unit within 9 inches of him, and then draw line of sight on range from a model in that unit, so you can string out like I don't know screamers, be within 9 of the screamer closer to you, and then have a screamer like, I don't know, 20 inches or something away from the Lord of Change and fire the line of sight and range from that screamer. So that's really good. And so I think the idea is, well, I say I think I know because he was talking me through it as well, but it was kind of what I was aiming for when I was testing my Scintillating Legion list. Fate Weaver and the Lord of Change kind of a lot of the time sit hidden, just blasting away, and then come out when if needed. And then he wants to use Pyrogenesis a lot on the Lord of Change with the token to give him +3 strength, +1 AP. That makes the Bolt of Zinch strength 13, minus 3d3 damage with 9 shots and sustained d3. Plus it makes the wand, the Rod of Sorcery, strength 12, minus 2d3 damage. So, I mean, at that point, it's pretty high end damage. But it is a 2 CP stratagem and a token. So, Fate Weaver at least allows him to recoup some of that CP back, which is good. Um, then he's got 1 unit of Nurglings, 2 units of Pink Horrors, no Plague Bearers. Um, I do like the 2 units of Pink Horrors. The Nurglings give him some infiltrating defense and scouting defense, which I like. One beast, 65 points to drop a really tough unit down to do some scoring. Like beasts are just solid. Um, Two gliding chariots. So you got your 3 strength 9 minus 3 damage shots, or your 2d6 strength 5. But more importantly, when they hit something, you can now ignore cover with the rest of your army against that target. So the idea is I'm guessing, the chariots going out, they're putting shots onto units like Fate Weave and the Bird want to shoot out, and then you're just ignoring cover, which is really solid. Um, I believe as well, Fate Weave and the Lord of Change are a lot of the times going to be hitting the same thing unless they kill that thing in one go, in which case it hits it first, and then you just bang onto it with Fate Weaver and the Lord Change. And then we've got two units of six flamers. So this is really interesting because I do not like the damage of flamers, but at the same time, they can put out a bit of work, especially with Pyrogenesis. And he was using them to clear chaff, and then they're massive Overwatch threat, which they are against armies like Eldar, GSE, guards, like they're solid. Tau, if they've got a lot of like Pathfinders or um breachers, crew, even other demon armies with little stuff. So yeah, flamers are really good for their Overwatch threat into some of the armies. And then one unit of six screamers and two units of three. I think that six man he uses like a threatening piece, but he doesn't bring out too many because he doesn't want to waste it. And it's like mid to late game, it kind of comes in and like brawls. The damage that it can put out is quite nice. The two units of three screamers can go in like the little melee thrash up in the middle, as well as do some secondaries when needed. So yeah, solid list. It makes me really want to get back on the scintillating, but I know I'm going to want to get quite a few games in with that. So I don't want to commit to it yet while I'm practicing for two really big super majors in too short of a time. I would rather play something that I know I'm quite shored up with at the moment, while also knowing I can do pretty well with it. But I do like this list, and I've got it literally got it sitting on my side at the moment. I've got it out, and I sit on the wall, and I was like, oh, so I probably should have done that because that makes me just want to play it. Um, but yeah, so let's have a look. And then last, but definitely not least, we have Mr. Byron, um, our very own Byron Sidhu here of the True Daemon Lord channel, and obviously Team Fire and Dice, who pulled an absolute heroic display at the Beachhead Brawl, which was a big like 200 man super major down the south coast of the UK, in Bournemouth. He 6 rounds. He went 6-0 in his final round. He did beat Mr. Stephen Box of Vanguard Tactics, which is a huge scalp to take. And I'm so happy and proud of Byron. And he's on his um, and I'm going to say it's his because in my eyes it is his list. And that's his inclusion list with Bellacore, the Endless Skid Ground Clean Ones, Chalaxi, and Scarbrand. He was running this well over a year ago. I gleamed it off him and nicked it off him because he was running Bellacore, Shalaxi, and Scarbrand for ages before anyone else was. And then the Ground Clean one became cheaper and, pretty much also take. So then he added him into his list. And then I nicked it. I can't lie, I nicked it. And I kind of made my own version. I like to claim the version without Scarman with the keeper, which you see a lot now because I was running that for a while. Whether I did actually make it first or not, I don't know, but I was definitely one of the first people running it to the level, that higher level. Um, but enough of me being arrogant. This is all about Byron, and I love this list. He's got 10 player bearers, 3 units of 3 fiends, having me and him been running for ages, and 3 units of 3 screamers. Um, which again, when they went up in points but also got better, I think me and him both looked at each other and went, yeah, I think our list now needs to have 3 units of screamers. So really solid. Playbearers hold the backfield, they come uppy downy later in the game when they need to. Fiends push forward, he can uppy downy drop fiends within Bellacore or Shalixi. Screamers, they're darting around, they're doing point scoring, they're bullying little things in the middle. And then he's got, the ground clean one can push to the middle, hold solid primary, and then just keep pushing. And then he just got the threat. I know he's putting Scarbrand in reserve a lot. Um, I actually have, let's have a look. So I do actually have a little written thing from him just to explain what he did in his games. So let's just get that up. Where is it? There it is. So I think he reserved Scarbrand a lot and then used him as a big rapid ingress threat to keep combat armies and keep screening honest, obviously. And he said Scarbrand and 3 screamers were always in reserve. So the 3 screamers can come down and do something like buy enemy lines or locus or something like that. Um and he mostly held up the mid board with the monsters. Um and then supported them at the other units like Fiends and Screamers. And he would focus on basically one flank in the middle and just let his opponent have the other one, and essentially just try and eat everything, and then just say to his opponent, "Cool, I've killed most of your stuff. Now I can pick off the rest of it." Um, but he uses a lot of the combined shooting of three of the monsters because Stellaxy and Venom shooting together is actually surprisingly potent. And then the Great and Clean one, if he's in range of his flamer and his flail, can also do a little bit of chip damage with that. Um, and like I said, he uses the rapid ingress and threat of Scarbrand 6 inches away as just a real deterrent to combat armies. Because you can rapid ingress Scarbrand 6 inches away if you've got natural shadows in the middle, and at the end of the phase, if you still have half more against no man's land, you can drop 6 inches away. Um, but also, I do like the idea of, you know, 6 inch stopping him around Be'lakor when someone's about to charge Be'lakor, and that's what Byron said as well. And going, cool, now charge him because I'm going to heroically intervene you with Scarbrand. Go for it. And it's just like, oh, I don't even remember that change anymore. So, yeah, really, really solid. He sent me, so obviously, a list that's quite common. Me and him were working on it for quite a long while, going into September, October last year, which was the kind of a version of this without sorry, obviously with Shalaxi, without Skybrand with the keeper. And that's what he's been staying on it. He avoided the whole excess thing and just stayed on it. And he sent me that one, he sent me this one, and he sent me one where he only had the three monsters, so Belly, Guo, Shalaxi, and then actually jumped to adding some crashes in, I guess, for the 6 inch deep strike, but he decided to jump on the Scarbrand list again. And I'm pretty sure he's happy he did. But I think when I was talking to him, I think I said I did like this list. I mean, I haven't all of them, but yeah, this is solid. Scarbrand has been able to 6 inch deep strike anywhere is absolutely insane. It's really annoying because I do want to run this list. I also don't want to rip Byron off and just run his list again. So really annoying, but Scarbrand dropping six away is just like anywhere on the board without shadows is just insane. Like you have to screen that so bad, but then you're potentially giving up screens off of Fiends, off of Shalaxi, off of Be'lakor, off of the Grand Clean one, off of Screamers. You can screen Screamers less because they fly, but yeah. Um, so it's just a really solid list that can just consistently put pressure out. It has so much speed to it. Like player barriers move five, Skybound moves eight, and the ground climber moves seven, but everything else is moving 12 to 14. So super, super fast. So yeah, really solid list. Well done, Byron. Again, legend. Um, so that is all of the lists we're going to be talking about. I already spoke about myself. Um, so I guess maybe if you want to ask any questions, we've got any questions, or you want to talk about anything, chuck it in chat now, and we'll have a little chat, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. Next week we won't be doing the live stream on Tuesday. We'll be doing it. If I do the live stream, I don't know if I'm going to do it. I was going to do it weekly. I might do it bi-weekly now. But if we do it, it won't be on Tuesday because the wife is taking me out because it's my birthday. So it will probably, if I do it, it'll be on Thursday probably. Um, so I'll just upload something instead. Don't ask me what yet. I haven't decided on the upload schedule for next week, but there will be an upload on Tuesday instead of a live stream, and then maybe a live stream on Thursday. Um, I also want to change it up. I don't want to keep doing like list chats on the live stream. So if you've got ideas, send them through, and then we'll instead of changing it up, doing different live streams and stuff like that. Maybe start getting actually sort myself out and get my TTS properly sorted so I can maybe do some stream games. That would be cool. Oh, Renowned Knight. Sorry, I've only just seen your message. No problem, mate. I actually enjoy doing the live streams. It's easier than actually filming because I don't have to plan anything. I can just talk. I just set myself up, get whatever I'm doing up, and then just talk. I don't have to edit it. Like live streams are really good. They're quite easy to do. Um, Even if I've only got like 6 or 8 people in chat, just being able to talk crap is just good. Um, so do. Question is, what should I run for this weekend? What do I want to keep practicing with? Do I try another version of the Plague Legion? Do I go back and reassess my excess list? Do I go back to Incursion? Um, I'm I'm not going to play Scintillating yet. I'm going to hold off on that for a while and keep building up and stuff and get more practice in with it. And I am not touching Blood Legion yet. I probably will play that going into the summer when I'm a little bit more relaxed after I've got a lot of my big point scoring game events out the way with. Do, 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 do. Right, I think we'll call it a night then. Because we spoke about all the list, there's no questions. I think we'll call it a day on that one. But thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, there will be no live stream on Tuesday, but maybe on Thursday. I will obviously keep you all updated. Blame the wife because she's insisting I have to go out for my birthday, even though I'd rather just sit indoors and not do anything. But so we will probably move that to Thursday. If not, it probably a live stream next week, and we'll just do it next the week after. But I might actually do bi-weekly or every fortnight, and live streams anyway. But we will see. So